The Choir Guys podcast wouldn't be possible without our amazing sponsors. To see the full list and learn more about them, visit thechoirguyspod.weebly.com/r-sponsors. Now here's a word from this week's featured sponsors. When it comes to insurance, one size does not fit all. At Hames Insurance, they're an independent agency, so they work for you, not just one company. With multiple options for home, auto, life, and more, they'll find the best fit for your needs and budget. Visit hamesinsurance.com and let them help protect what matters most. Tired of making your own sight reading examples? Sight Reading Factory generates unlimited, tailored exercises in seconds. It's a total game changer for music educators. Try it at sightreadingfactory.com. Are you looking for high-quality choral music and a company that pays composers fairly? Endeavor gives creators 50% royalties, not 10%. Explore their repertoire at endeavormusicpublishing.com. Dale Duncan tried every sight singing method out there and saw what didn't work. So he built one that does. Designed for beginners, S-Cube trains the ear and the eye from day one, celebrates progress, and makes room for fun. If you want real results with zero gaps, check out the S-Cube sight singing program today. Hello and welcome to the Season 3 finale of the Choir Guys podcast. My name is Blake Richter.
And I'm Danny Gutierrez.
Danny, we have taken like a 3-month break. We have not had an episode for a while, but we still exist. Like, we're still a podcast. We just are also human beings who...
It's summertime right now,
yeah.
So...
And we stopped like right around concert season. You had contests and everything, and we were just
a lot of stuff
overwhelmed
at the same time. Yeah.
So we just had to stop for a little bit, but we are back, and we're back with a bang. First of all, the New York Knicks. Do you want to talk about it?
Oh my gosh. It was just the most crazy playoff run of all time for me.
I was going to say, I don't know how accurate that is, but for you, yes, that's accurate.
I mean, it was wild. I don't know. I'm just like, so I follow the World Cup, and I support Colombia because it's my father's country, and they lost 2 days ago, and I was so upset, and because it went to penalty kicks, and it's brutal to lose in penalty kicks. But then after it was done, I thought the New York Knicks still won an NBA championship. And that
I received a
helped me.
text from Chris Brammer, artistic director of the Springfield Chamber Chorus, and he said, Danny couldn't have it all this summer, but everybody needs to be really nice to Danny for the rest of this summer because Colombia lost. But he was like, he can't have both.
Well, I was with him the last time they were in a big tournament was Copa America, which is the Cup of South America with soccer. I was over his house, and Colombia was up, and then we lost the game. He saw the terror in my eyes when that was happening. It was just so he understands, and he's a big soccer U.S. men's team supporter. So
on our podcast, Season 2, Episode 1, you said, if the New York Knicks ever win the NBA Finals, you would consider getting a tattoo. However, you said it on our podcast, and I feel like I think our listeners deserve a video of you getting your first tattoo in honor of the New York Knicks championship. If you would like that to happen,
What have the listeners
If you
done
would like
to deserve
this to happen, please comment below what the tattoo should be, where it should be located. He's thinking up here or on his thigh. This is what he has told me. He says if he does it, which he will do it, we will harass him until he does it. So we will.
Just think about the concept of it. It's a needle that goes in and out of your skin over and over.
I have 4 tattoos.
I know you have them, but I'm saying think about the concept of it.
It's actually very relaxing.
But you're saying that the listeners deserve to see a needle go in and out of my flesh.
It's not going to be like a live feed. Like, I'm going to cut it up.
A live feed? You're going to cut it up?
No,
These are very disturbing statements.
I'm not going to do a live feed. I'm going to chop up the video so that.
You're talking about the video. Oh,
yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. So it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, where, all the things. So please
Is this like
comment
a fishing
below.
episode? basically.
Yeah. I think so. It's got to happen.
Set with needles and a needle going in and out of my flesh over and over.
If you scream as much as you do with an earthworm, if you scream like that when you're getting a tattoo, you don't deserve to get a tattoo.
So I have,
but also if you scream more about an earthworm than a tattoo, that's also saying something.
So a few logistical questions. One, first off, I don't even know what the pricing range is of a tattoo. How about that?
If you get a small one, it could be under $100. Hey,
under $100 tattoo, that seems like unwise.
We can get a GoFundMe going to pay for your tattoo. I could almost guarantee that.
That is so...
Or
wait, hold on. I have more.
Honestly, I'll use some of our sponsorship money.
I have more logistical questions though. So, color, is that a thing? Color in tattoos?
You can't. Yeah.
It just costs more money, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I have all black. So
if I were to get a tattoo, it has to be involving the Knicks in some capacity.
That was the whole point.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because their logo is orange, but I don't know if I want orange on my flesh.
It's also blue.
Orange and blue, that's true. I don't know.
Or you can just... Here's what I was thinking. You know how like when you are walking through the woods, you've done it.
On a snowy evening.
Yeah. You're walking through the woods and you come across a tree and you're with your boo and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this tree. I have a knife. Let's carve our initials. And then you put a heart around it. I think it's just black ink. It's just JB for Jalen Brunson with a heart around it. And then people will be like, well, his girlfriend's name starts with a J.
But how about the B? What does the B come in?
Your girlfriend's name, then Batty. Anyway, congratulations, Danny, on an incredible finals win. The New York Knicks, after 53 years, have won once again. When will the next one happen? Will we ever know?
It will happen probably. There's a chance, not probably, there's a chance it could happen next year. We've got the same team back.
Yeah, except Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, but
Celtics.
We have some plans there. Yeah, I know. And that disgusting, gross green.
Our students who listen to the podcast, it's time to get them more Celtic socks.
No more.
You know who you are.
No, please.
Zach. Okay, well, enough about that. We have a huge episode today. We have no business chatting with our guest today. Danny, does he even need an introduction?
I mean, Grammy Award winner, Juilliard grad, pioneer of virtual choir, internationally acclaimed conductor and composer. What more do you need, Blake?
I don't need anything else.
Please welcome Eric Whitacre.
You are here. Now, you're in Europe somewhere. Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm in Belgium.
You're in Belgium.
I'm in Belgium.
Belgium.
Yeah, that's right.
And are you doing like a residency or something there?
Yeah, truly a residency. I'm my wife is Belgian, so I've lived here now. So I'm an actual residency. Yeah, we moved here 2 years ago. We have a little 5-year-old boy, so we wanted to start him in school. The Belgians speak a whole bunch of languages. Yeah. So we wanted to learn all the languages. So
wow.
Yeah,
but I'm doing a residency in London, and it's I don't know if you've been over this to Belgium specifically, but it's just a 2-hour train ride up to to London. It's super easy. So
cool. Yeah, us Americans don't really teach languages super well. I know, like,
and us Americans get beat by the Belgian in the World Cup as well.
Yeah, I know. How was that in your household?
Well, it was funny because I was just very quietly like, yay, Belgium. So yeah, it all worked out just fine. I'm just kind of keeping quiet over here.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Nice. Well, so I have to tell you a little story. My wife, we met in choir at Missouri State University, and I feel like as many people can say, if you marry a choir nerd, you were my wife's first crush. Before I was ever, her crush, and she would kill me for saying this. But I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna say it anyway. I know there's some listeners out there that can relate to this. It's really just unfair. But she attended Blue Springs High School. And her choir director, Nathan Rudolph, they had students travel to California back in 2011 to be in the chorus for Paradise Lost. And,
oh my God, really?
Yeah, so back in the day. So my wife was in that chorus. And one of the funniest things that I've ever seen, they created like a paper chain. I don't know if you've seen those like in the classroom, a paper chain to count down their trip to California. But instead of like a normal paper chain, it was like your face, and then the paper chain was your hair. And so as the trip got closer and closer and closer, you just were balding essentially. And then they finally got to go on the trip. And I do have a picture that I will put on the screen, but also I'll just show you on our iPad really quick of the paper chain. If I can.
Oh, jeez.
Isn't that beautiful?
Wow, that's impressive. That's really impressive.
Yeah, so shout out to Caitlin Richter for your paper chain skills. So that brings us to our first question. Does this make you feel uncomfortable that people sometimes talk more about your hair than your music? No, I'm just kidding.
No, not more.
No, that was a joke.
Just as much.
Not anymore, they don't. No, it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. I never understood it. I never understood it. I guess you started it best by saying, like a choir nerd marries another choir nerd. I mean, we're all such nerds in the choir community that I think like all you have to do is have just a little long hair and suddenly it's a talking point. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
To be honest, early on, I just remember thinking, well, as long as they're even talking about me, it must be going okay. Do you know what I mean? Like I just was trying to spread the word and get people to listen to the music. So it's like, all right, if that's what everybody's going to talk about, all right, here we go.
If that's what sells my music, I will keep doing my hair the same way.
Yeah, although I should even clarify, like, I know it's a joke, but it's not even selling the music. It's literally getting them to listen to it. Yeah. Because, in our community especially, there's two ways to get people to perform it. One is to convince a conductor, and they hear it, and they decide we're going to bring it on. And the sneakier way is to get the choir members to somehow hear about it and beg their conductor to let them to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I was never thinking about like actually selling the music. It was literally just like, how do I get past that gate of that little bubble for each choir, make it through the citadel, and then somehow get them to agree to perform the piece? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
just
that's
bring
awesome.
it to life.
I mean, I think I'm a composer as well. Through Walton. So Susan, have to deal with her too. It's kind of rough. I don't know how you do it. I struggle with it as well because she's the best human.
But yeah,
ever.
I was about to say full clarification. This is just a joke, listeners.
She lives like right down the road, like 25 minutes down the road. So we love Susan.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Susan Bar is amazing. She's so good.
Yeah, she's
so
the best
good at what she does.
But now I know what I need to do to sell a little bit more. I will be growing my hair out now. So
is the hair?
I've thought about it for a while.
Isn't it nice? You people can grow your hair out. If we can all say the same thing.
I don't think it works anymore. Times have changed since that was my jam 20 years ago. I honestly think it's a different thing now. Like I actually, again, to just be a little serious about it, I think there's a little pushback against anything that looks a little too glamorous, a little too polished. I think people really are thirsty for just like, yep, here's a real person who's doing real things. Do you get that sense?
Rough it up. So now I know I just need to like not shower, not bathe for days, and then take my headshot. There we go. I agree. People want real, but you're also real. You're also real.
Well,
we're finding that out.
Well, that's part of like when it all started. The kind of the heat from all of it and this kind of buzz. And I think what I naturally did was just endlessly try to deflate that. Do you know what I mean? Like take the air out of it.
Yeah.
I would spend years and years on social media just making fun of that in a way. Like I'd change my profile picture to llamas and Fabio and whatever. You know what I mean? Just be like, you all do see how silly this is, right? And somehow I happen to be in the driver's seat of that weird thing. So I was like, okay, let's just endlessly try to point out how ridiculous all of that is.
Yeah. No, I love it. Encore Tours proudly supports the choir guys and the choral community that surrounds us. They work with all types of choirs to create custom international tours with guaranteed audiences, seamless logistics, and unforgettable performance experiences. Want to take your ensemble abroad? Bring your vision to life at encoretours.com/choir-guys. If you're a choir director tired of clunky fundraisers and unreliable companies, let us point you to one that works. Kansas-made frozen pastries. We've used them for over 5 years and have had an incredible experience every single time. In fact, last fall our choir sold over $35,000 worth of pastries, and honestly, it didn't even feel like that much work. The product is high quality, the company is great to work with, and students are excited to sell. It all arrives in a timely manner, and your program gets the funds it needs without the usual stress. Check them out today at kansasmade.com. What if your school's social media wasn't all on you? That's what Class Intercom offers, student-led, teacher-approved content creation that actually works. We've been using it for 3 years and the difference is huge. Students write the posts, we review and approve them. Class Intercom gives them a platform and gives us peace of mind. It also syncs with every school account, so no more logging into 5 platforms just to post one update. If you're ready for better content and less stress, check out classintercom.com today. So how did a young boy, Eric Whitacre, go on this musical journey and become the Eric Whitacre he is today? Take us back.
My God. In general, especially when it comes to music, I always had an ear. You know, I could just, I was the only kid in my family who was even remotely interested in music, but we had a piano that had been, we'd inherited it from my grandmother. And so every now and then I would just sit down at the piano and pick out tunes. They tried to give me lessons and none of that would work. And then in middle school, my dad, he had a trumpet from when he tried to be in band when he was a kid. That didn't work well, but he had the trumpet. So I played trumpet in middle school band and marching band, but I played only by ear. I never learned to read music.
Yeah.
And then I discovered synthesizers in high school. And that was it. I was obsessed. And I thought that's what I was going to do with my entire life. And then when I went to college, I sort of got tricked into singing in the choir. And the first piece we sang was the Requiem by Mozart. And that was it. I was utterly transformed. And overnight, I became what we were talking about, the world's biggest choir geek. I was just obsessed. And then 3 years into my 7-year undergraduate degree, I wrote my very first piece, this little piece called Go Lovely Rose, as a gift for this teacher, David Weiler, this conductor who had changed my life. And that's it. Then I guess I was on the path.
There you go.
And where were you born?
Sorry. So I was born in Nevada, and a little farming town is mostly where I grew up near Lake Tahoe, but just a really small farming town.
Okay.
And then when I went to my bachelor's degree, I did it at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. It was just the biggest of the 2 state schools. There's one in Reno. It was the biggest and the furthest away from my parents. So I took that one.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And that's where you met Tony, right?
That's exactly right. So that same year that I was 20 when I had my first piece premiered, Tony was in the choir. I don't know if he told this story, but he had taken a year off writing his dissertation, his doctoral dissertation, and had just come back where he was from Vegas. So he said, he just came to the school and said, do you need a tenor? Can you imagine as choir directors, like this 25-year-old guy who reads music like a crazy person and is so literate and so eloquent comes in and says, do you happen to need a tenor? Can you imagine? It's like,
wow. Yeah.
Greatest day of David's life.
So Tony Silvestri is who we're talking about, and he was on our podcast a few episodes ago, and he told us, we asked him if he had any great stories about you, since you guys are so close. And he told the one about his kid and how you were like, I am going to predict that they are going to be born on my birthday, which is
That's right.
What, like January? Or is it July?
January 2nd.
January 2nd.
That's
I knew
right.
it was either January or July 2nd because he said it on the podcast. Do you have any? Do you want to return the favor and tell any stories that people won't know about Tony? He kept it, he kept it rated G. So
yeah.
To our disappointment, we wanted him to take it there, but he didn't. He's very kind.
I should clarify. I didn't predict. So what happened was Julie, his wife at the time, was due on January 9th. And every time I would see her, I would get down on my knees and whisper into her belly, January 2nd. Did he tell this?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so she actually, So we're birthday buddies now, Emma. Did he also tell you that she's a choir director now?
No, he didn't say that.
No.
Emma is a choir director in Minnesota. That's right.
That's because of you. Let's be honest.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think I'm going to be in choir because of her. But there's so many Tony stories. Tony is easily the most educated and eloquent person I know. He's just, ever since I met him, I've just been in awe of him. And he single-handedly changed the way I think about music. He endlessly was just showing me things, for example, I'd never eaten Indian food before. And so he took me to eat Indian food. And I remember him saying to the waiter, "Please tell the chef we'd like it hotter than he likes to eat it." You see the waiter go back and then this head come out of the kitchen like, who? But Tony also, this isn't a silly story, but Tony handed me this disc of music by Arvo Pärt, who I'd never even heard of before, and a piece called The Passio. And it utterly changed my life. I still think I'm trying to, almost everything I write, I feel is a pale imitation of that piece of The Passio by Arvo Pärt. It's so deeply got into my DNA and changed me. Anyway, that's whenever I think of Tony, I just think of him as this change agent in my life. He just endlessly, like a big brother, who teaches about Rush in the late 70s. It's like, listen, I know you like Kiss, but I'm going to introduce you to Mixed Meter.
2112,
that's
here
Tony.
we go.
Totally.
Love it.
All right. So, with my choirs, we try to do at least one Eric Whitacre piece a year. I know when I first performed one of your pieces, I was a singer in the Springfield Mid-America Singers, and we did Sleep, and I was relatively unfamiliar with your music at that point in time. And when we started performing it, I was just hearing things that I'd never heard before in a choral piece, and it was incredibly moving, and I didn't know what to do with that. It was kind of life-changing. And a lot of people feel the same way. A lot of people have performed your works. So, and I'm sure you've heard a plethora of different interpretations and different takes at your pieces. So for choir directors who are rehearsing your music, what do you think they sometimes overwork, and what do you feel like maybe they underwork as well?
It's a great question. So wait, you've got a middle school choir, right, Danny?
Well, I teach middle school and I teach high school at the same time, so okay. I teach both. Yeah.
Have you tried? Can the middle schoolers do any of my music?
No. It's funny that you would ask. I have tried. I have tried a few pieces for middle school. I've tried Seal Lullaby, which went relatively successfully. Yeah. I went over maybe like the first, I don't know, like the first 10 measures of Luke's. I don't know what I was eating that morning. I was like, all right, kids, we're going to try this piece of music out. And they loved it. They thought it was amazing, but they couldn't functionally perform it the way I had hoped for them to do so. But in high school now, we do the music regularly, I would say.
Yeah, part of the reason I asked too is for decades now, I've really wanted to write a middle school piece, and I'm just looking for an idea. I would love to write for that age group and that kind of choir. I just need an idea, a poem or a way in, something. But I think to answer your question, I think that what conductors sometimes focus on is, I like to write these close harmonies, especially these clusters like the beginning of Luke's or Sleep. And I think oftentimes conductors sort of get held up on these moments, like they're these shiny baubles, and the thing kind of becomes all about that thing. And oddly for me, I never think about those things as these big moments. Those are actually, there's well, to be honest, what I'm really thinking about, and which I wish more choir directors thought about, is the text. For me, the poetry is the alpha and the omega. It's why we do what we do. It separates us from all the other artistic animals. And so if it were like if I could get my own way with it, I'd have the conductor sitting with the choir and really digging deep into what the poem means and where the music is in that poem and the real emotion. Because once everybody kind of finds their vision of that, then the music blossoms in a totally different way, I find.
Yeah. Awesome. So speaking of those like cluster chords and stuff, a lot of choir people will hear your name and immediately start thinking of, a certain sound and those clusters and everything. Is that flattering, limiting, or both? to be connected to, the clusters and the shimmer and the stillness and the emotional payoff. Like, is that flattering or is it limiting?
It's never flattering. It's never like, yes, I've branded cluster chords. I own cluster. You know what I mean? Like, I never think that way.
Well, other people think that way. Like you
know,
do own cluster chords.
Well, it's really odd to me. And then even like talking about opera parrot, it's like, well, actually, so, I'm like at the base of Everest, and there's a whole bunch of people that have climbed way up there. So, what I wouldn't say it's flattering, but what I find exciting as a composer is that people tend to have an emotional reaction to the music. And so often when they describe the emotional reaction they're having, it's the same way I feel about the music. What I always hope for, like say some of those close harmony chords, I never think of them as clusters, like, here's a hot chord. What I always think of is how close can I get, what combination of notes can I find that it's a one-to-one match from how I feel about a moment, like it's something like the mystery of rain or the heartache of grief or whatever that thing is. How close can I get with those combination of notes to expressing that very nuanced feeling without just describing it? And so if people can hear it and then say back to me what they're feeling, and it sounds like what I was also feeling, that's kind of the whole reason I do what I do. It's like suddenly we're connected. There's this deep, deep connection that's deeper than language when we speak to each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that really turns me on.
Going back a little bit, I'm just thinking through this now. Your love of synthesizers, that's what you thought you were going to do. Well, I see it back there.
Yeah.
Do you compose and like get ideas by, going to the synth and just like holding out sustained chords and everything and kind of playing around that way with those different voicings?
I have, especially early on, like pieces like Luxembourg and Water Night and those things, those were literally written on a synth patch.
I was going to say, like, I feel like I could hear those pieces like on a synth.
Wow. Right? I mean, and the one real giveaway is a synth never has to breathe ever. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just hold it and just do this. And so I think you were talking before about that static sound that if it's partly because you can just sit on a synth chord and it just slowly evolves, but it never has to lift. And so I've spent a lot of time trying to rebuild that sound for voices. These days, though, I just finished this big piece for choir and synthesizers. It's called Eternity in an Hour. And I made an album and everything. And so now the past couple of years, I've been knee deep, maybe neck deep back in my synth world.
Nice. And then I have to ask, are you a Styx fan?
No, come on, am I a Styx fan?
Okay, I thought you said no. I was like...
No, absolutely.
I was like, if you like synth, you've got to be a Styx fan.
It's so funny because I still remember I must have been 12 and there was a magazine, no, maybe 11, but it was like, you had those Teen Beat magazines and there'd be polls. It's like, who's better, Styx or Journey? And I remember all my friends were like, Journey. And I was like, no way, Journey, Styx.
Styx was like my favorite growing up. I saw them live. It was, I forget who the first band was. My dad would be very upset that I forget what band it was. And then it was Styx. And then like REO Speedwagon was the headliner. REO Speedwagon is great, but they're not still making music. And so Styx is still, making music. Well, at least they were back then. and their sound and everything was like so crisp and so incredible, and it was one of the best like live concerts I've ever been to.
How? My 5-year-old, I've already introduced him. He loves Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
He loves Too Much Time on My Hands. Like yeah, all the hits.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents raised me right and like just handed me the Styx greatest hits. It was actually Lady was we had these alarm clocks growing up that we had a CD on the top, and it would play the first track whenever you woke up. So my brother woke up to Lady, the like 95 remix every morning.
Oh, yeah,
and so I'd hear it in his room. I'm like, there's Styx.
Good on your parents.
Yeah. As choir directors, we all want our singers to become better readers, but finding the time and the tools to teach sight reading effectively can be tough. That's where Sight Reading Factory comes in. With customizable exercises, auto-graded assignments, and new auto-assessment features, Sight Reading Factory turns sight reading into a powerful, streamlined part of your curriculum. You can focus on the exact skills your singers need, whether it's reading in mixed meter, isolating tricky intervals, or reinforcing solfege. Students can practice anywhere, anytime, and you can track their growth along the way. We've used it, we love it, and we can't recommend it enough. Visit sightreadingfactory.com to see how it can transform your choir program today. At Endeavor Music Publishing, the composers come first, and it shows. Composers receive 50% of every sale, a level of support rarely seen in music publishing today. Their catalog features high-quality, community-minded works. When you program from Endeavor, you're supporting a fair model and programming music that inspires. Explore their catalog at endeavormusicpublishing.com. If you're a choir director looking for a game-changing sight singing method, meet S-Cubed. One teacher said, "This curriculum surpassed my expectations. There's no gaps, no fluff, just clear, detailed, and engaging lessons. All I had to do was download it and go." S-Cubed gives you slides, morning work, quizzes, games, and tips for every single day, plus video guidance from Dale Duncan himself. You get your time back, your students get excited, and you get a curriculum that actually works. Start sight singing with confidence and download S-Cubed today.
So one of the things I love about your music is often the silence that comes after whatever is happening. Maybe it's at the end of a piece or at the end of an interesting harmonic passage, and then it just kind of, the sound just sits in the room for a while, and that's a really impactful time. Like, I know when I work with high schoolers on your music, whenever we have those moments, like they could just be in the craziest of moods, but when we finish a piece, like we did Luxembourg in this past winter, and whenever we get to that last minute of the piece, and then it just ends, no one moves, no one talks, and it's a really special moment. So when you compose, is the silence or dissipation something that you're actively thinking of?
That's a beautiful question. It's the kind of the only thing I'm thinking of. For me, the music is, the harmonies and the arc of the music is important, but where those silences are and how they're used, and especially like you said, to the ending is nice, but then the release of that ending, there's I think a way of building that into the writing of the piece, vowel, color, range, and it's the moments that I personally live for. And it's funny to go full circle that I learned all of that from Arvo Pärt. If you go back and listen to that piece, The Passion, it's just filled with these beautiful silences, and they're contemplative, they're meditative, they're shimmering with possibility. Do you know what I mean? Like they're as alive as the music is. And I think it was Debussy that said that I can't remember what it is, but silence is the canvas and music is the paint upon it. Mm-hmm. And so I also love this idea that music is there and then it just sort of evaporates, and what's left in that moment is just that landscape of silence. Mm-hmm. Ironically, I could talk for a long time about silence.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. So I know one of the first albums I think I heard of just music for yours was the Alora Festival Singers. They had that. They have the Eric Whitacre album, and it's really lovely, and their interpretations are great, and it's beautiful. They did when David heard, and sometimes I compare that recording to the Eric Whitacre Singers recording, and it's crazy how one piece can have a variance of like 7 minutes from beginning to end time. The Eric Whitacre Singers interpretation of your piece is, I think it's like 17, 18 minutes long. And
slow.
Yeah. So, and I think a lot of that has to do with the space in between, like the musical statements that are made. And I'm assuming that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that space. You want to hear that silence in between things.
Yeah, although it's really funny. So I think every choir director, including you two, who is hearing this right now, will relate to what I'm about to say, which is like, for me, there's no correct way to do a piece. There's the time of day you're doing it, and there's the acoustic that you're in, right? Mm-hmm. So that recording that we did, that CD where I'm conducting, we were in this church called St. Albans, which is in the north of London, and it has like a 9-second bloom. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so epic. You can sing a single chord and just let it go forever. And so I didn't really know enough about what I was doing then to know that, I'm just naturally going to slow down and just enjoy these silences. And so I'll often get asked by conductors, so you like it to be 18 minutes? It's like, well, I like to be 18 minutes if we're recording at 2 p.m. with 36 professional singers in a massive space. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, then it's great. But I've also conducted it in drier acoustics and easily shaved 4 or 5 minutes off of it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, and also this bit, which is that was recorded with no audience, right? So in a recording session, it's such a meditation. You just can't help but like spend time on things. It's just you and the singers. But whenever I do it live, it's always quicker because I'm feeling the energy of the audience on my back. I can hear, a little cough here, a little rustle here. Yeah. And so just in an effort to keep the velocity of the drama going, it just naturally move things forward,
Yeah. Fascinating. So now that Stopping by Woods exists again in its original form, does it feel like recovering the original piece, or does it feel like meeting a different piece entirely? And then when the same music can carry two different texts, what does that reveal about meaning works in music? About how meaning works in music?
That's fascinating. This is a 3 martini question.
Well, we got time.
Yeah, all right, break out the martinis. So it's still surreal to me. I've been performing Stopping by Woods now, I guess, for 2 years, since it was finally legal to do so. And I've been using Tony's text Sleep for 25 years. So still, when I am conducting Stopping by Woods, I'll cue the choir and then mouth the wrong words. Like, it's like in my phone.
Yeah.
Right? His words, they're so married to the music. But part of the reason that I released that version of it was because I just did it as a one-off on a Christmas concert, once it was legal. And I was like, I forget what this is like. And I was astonished at how wildly it changed the music. That I was not prepared for. It's still the same notes, right? And but I conducted it differently. And more importantly, the singers sang it differently. Not just the vowels but the storytelling. There's kind of an urgency to it that isn't in Tony's words.
Yeah.
And so it is almost a different piece to me as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can sit out in the audience and as a musician just hear the music, But I think the feeling that remains once each of the different texts is over is totally different. Tony's Sleep is just so loving and lush and velvety. And the Robert Frost Sleep is kind of cold and austere.
Frosty.
It's funny how frosty, yeah, very nice. It's funny how the same music can so differently change, which then I think goes back to part of your question, which is like, actually the words are super important.
Yeah.
Obviously. But they're important also for just the deeper life of the music itself. I think sometimes composers forget this, that they write the music and then almost graft the words on top of it. But actually, it's the words themselves are bringing the piece to life in a way that the music can't.
Yeah, you can tell you and Tony are good friends because he really, was emphasizing that point a bunch on his episode as well. So
was he really?
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, Tony has been profoundly gracious with all of this because he saved the piece. You and I wouldn't be sitting here talking about sleep if or stopping by Woods even if Tony hadn't come and saved it. And also that piece alone, probably it's possible the three of us might not be talking. Do you know what I mean? Like you might not want to talk to me had I not written that piece. And so in a way, Tony he's like this nuclear fission in the middle of all of this. And when I told him, I think I want to release this just so people can compare the two, he was so gracious. I mean, just, can you imagine? Because he could have also said, no, I don't think so. I could, like, why would you do that? And my first fear, and I told him this, is I said, I just don't want people comparing you to Robert Frost, for Christ's sake. It's like that poem is learned in high school. So even if they actually can compete, it can't compete. It's like Robert Frost. But what's been fascinating is how many more people say some version of, actually, I prefer the sleep lyrics, Stopping by Wood lyrics.
I was like, there's no way people stop performing that. Like,
no,
like, they're going to keep it going. I think Tony probably knew that.
Yeah, maybe so, maybe. But anyway, it just speaks to his character, how gracious he is.
Yeah. No. Yeah, he's awesome.
Sometimes people say crazy stuff to me. This is on a different note, but sort of similar. People say they go. I was reading some blog posts recently, and there's a bunch of people say they go to sleep to the piece "Sleep," and I was like, "How the heck can you sleep during that?" Like that's so crazy. Like I'm just thinking of the harmonies and the intensity of the piece at times. Like, how do you sleep during that? If I were trying to sleep with that, I would sleep with my eyes wide open. Like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could do that.
Well, because you would be analyzing every single little intricate harmony and everything.
Yeah,
not everybody has a brain like yours.
But do you think you could sleep?
No, I couldn't either. But like, I'm just saying, like, some people probably could because they're not having to analyze everything, and their brain doesn't have to analyze everything.
I guess. Yeah.
But I can really relate to that because, like, even if I'm just in an elevator and there's music, anything that's on the radio just in the background, it's never in the background, right? It's like somebody whispering in your ear, and it has meaning, right? Those chords and those harmonies and that structure all has meaning. So it's not just something you can ignore. It's like, really, you're going to the 2-chord? You have to, you know what I mean? You have to reckon with it. It's not just a thing that's ignorable, I find.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe musicians are cursed that way.
Yeah, I can't listen to music when I go to sleep.
That's the full stop. I can't listen to music.
I can't listen to music, period. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. So in 2017, I had the honor of performing in the same conducting middle level choir at the same set that the Eric Whitacre Singers performed. So we were that was on the gold track.
So you were like the opening act.
Well, we were the second choir. So we were on
one of the opening.
We were on the gold track. So it was the one at the church. If that rings a bell.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That insane church, by the way, right? That acoustic.
Yes. Yeah. It was lovely. And when we found out, like, we were super excited, and I was trying to explain to the students, because they don't realize what's happening. Like I told them that we're going to go to do laser tag, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we're doing laser tag in Minnesota! This is so exciting!" Okay, yeah, this is why this is happening. So, and I tried to help them understand the significance of the conference and the types of groups that were going to be there. So I really took a lot of time to explain to them who the Eric Whitacre Singers were and who you were. And one of the things I did, it was an interesting moment. So with the virtual choir of a performance of Water Night, because that was something that I kind of introduced them to. I wanted to make it come alive to them. So I don't think I ever told you about this. You know what Anagram 3D is? It's called Anagram, right? Not Anagram, it's with the red and blue, when the red and blue 3D
I've seen
thing.
This.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So what I did was there was a program, and I turned the video into a 3D video, and I bought like 100 the red and blue whatever it is, anaglyph,
I don't know,
whatever the term is. I got a bunch of these things, and then I remember the secretary of the school asked me, she's like, "Why are you getting all these glasses?" I'm like, "Well, I turned the choir video into 3D because I really wanted them to experience it." Because I think one of the really impactful things of the virtual choir was just even watching the production value of that video is kind of amazing. So I feel like the visual element was important. I really wanted them to have a strong introduction to Eric Whitacre. So we watched it in 3D with the red and blue, and it was like popping out and stuff. And it was a really cool experience for them. And from that moment, it kind of got them on the right track. They're like, wow, this is really awesome. This music is great. And these are 7th and 8th graders in this choir, so 13, 14 years old. And they were fascinated by it. And then we found out that we were on the same set as the Eric Whitacre singers. And for the students, the bigger priority
was laser tag.
Well, yes, that was number one. But the second one kind of became like, we want to make sure that we can hear the Eric Whitacre singers. So we were like, okay, I don't know how this is going to work out, because that was our second performance of the day. And I was like, all right, when this is done, you're going to be exhausted. But then we're going to go back into the church, and then we're going to watch Eric Whitacre singers, which is tricky because there wasn't much space, obviously. So when they finished performing, we kind of snuck in the back and got out. And actually, it was funny. They started giving us a round of applause as we came back in on the top. They're like, "Yeah, you guys, remember you? This was great." And then we went in the back, but and they listened to the performance, and it was incredibly meaningful for them. So I think about. So here's my question. So when you think about young singers hearing high levels of choral artistry live, what do you hope that awakens, either the choral artistry or your music awakens in them?
Oh, wow. Well, first, thank you for doing all of that for those kids. I mean, the two of you just teaching, it's so profound the way you're changing people and changing their lives. It's how lucky they are to have you both in their lives. I have to say, for myself personally, I never once think, here's what I hope my music is doing for young people. That would paralyze me if I thought, oh my
Sure,
God,
yeah.
But the one thing that I hope as a side effect is just my music, but choral music especially. I just hope that people get a chance to A, hear it, and B, sing it all over the world, because it just softens people. It's such a beautiful practice. And so that's always what I'm hoping, is people just can have that experience that that the three of us get to have all the time. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is it's so human, it's so pure and so deep, and there are no words to describe it. And then you see people who have never sung in a choir before, and they join and they're shy, and then they have that first moment where their voice is lost with other voices. It's like, that's it. They're like us. They're geeks for life. So that's what I always hope for. That's that. And then when I think now as an adult, what I hope is that people like the kids in your choir, that not all of them are going to be musicians. Actually, most of them will grow up and have real jobs, not be musicians like us, and that they'll go on to be administrators and school administrators and politicians and lawyers and people who actually can influence the structure of music education and whether or not it's practiced in communities. That's what I always hope, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can always tell when there's like some beautiful bubble of a community, and somebody at the top in the administration, they just played clarinet in 6th grade. And they get it. They actually understand what we're talking about, that this isn't a line item thing to cut. Yeah. It's kind of the only reason a lot of these kids even want to be at school or even feel like waking up in the morning. It's so essential. Anyway, sorry, that's my soapbox.
No, that's great. Yeah, I mean, fan the flame. That's what we're going for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. We've never done this before, but we felt like the Eric Whitacre episode is the time to do it. As you can imagine, we and our listeners probably have a million questions that we would love to ask you, but also we don't want them to have to listen to like a 3-hour episode, even though they would, because it's you. So we're going to do some rapid fire questions, okay? You've got like 5 to 10 seconds to answer these questions, and it's got to be.
You can already tell how hard this is for me, right?
No, like you keep your answers actually pretty short compared to this.
Yes, for sure.
You are like succinct.
Are you being serious?
I am not kidding.
Yes, I mean your talking is wonderful and beautiful, but you're on the nose. Like, you got the job. Well done.
Like
I was thinking that saying. So real quick, I was thinking of that saying where it's as the preacher said, I could give shorter sermons, but once I get started, I'm too lazy to stop. That's what I was saying to myself.
No, like, no shot or no shade to the rest of our guests, because we love everybody that we've had on. We've learned so much, but sometimes choir directors, we like to talk. We're teachers, we're educators, and we are used to having to put on a performance, and so we just like keep going. But you know what you want to say, and you go for it. So
A+. Incredible.
plus. Okay, so again, 5 to 10 seconds, rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Composition software of choice.
Pencil and paper every time.
Ooh, nice.
It's still pencil and paper.
I kind of assumed it was going to be that answer. Love it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting. Man, I wish you would have asked like process of choice. That would have been fun
So,
too.
but
Synthesizer.
like, when you have to send something to like Susan or to another publisher, what
What you eventually using?
What do you eventually use?
I literally take photos with my iPhone.
Oh my gosh. What an
Yeah.
OG. What an OG.
That's how it's done.
I would use a carrier pigeon if I could figure it out, but
So then Susan or somebody has to put it into like Sibelius or whatever, and
That's
then
why like the judge
Yeah,
at Walton, they're like, we know this is Eric Whitacre's music. Sent on a screenshot.
yeah, I held this guy again. Oh my god.
So here's the thing. I kind of assume these rapid fire questions, he's probably going to do the 5 to 10 seconds, and then we're going to ask more follow-up questions.
Well,
we're only on question
it's
one, and it's
entertaining.
been like 2 minutes already.
There you go. Next one. Most impactful music teacher you had and why? In 5 seconds? 5 to 10 seconds? Good luck with this.
David Weiler. It got me singing in choir. He gave me my first conducting job, and I wrote my first piece for him. I owe him my entire musical life.
Somehow he did it in 10 seconds. That's amazing.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Favorite piece of choral music by a living composer that is not Eric Whitacre?
Living composer. It's tricky.
The Passio, St. John Passion by Arvo Pärt.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful.
Parallel.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite non-classical artist?
Oh my God. Depeche Mode. First one that comes to mind. Do you know who Depeche Mode
No,
is?
I've never heard. No.
Oh my God.
Depeche.
80s synth pop.
There we go.
But if we had to go someone that you have heard of, then the next one would be Stevie Wonder. So
There you go.
Okay.
Nice.
Depeche Mode would be in my Spotify on the way home.
Okay, this is going to be a hard one. Pick one. Sleep or Stopping by Woods?
sleep.
Ooh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
There you
I'm convinced now.
Why?
I didn't set Stopping by Woods very well. It's okay, the setting, it's okay. But Tony made my music a better setting through the way he integrated his words into the music. It's just a better piece. It just works.
You heard it here.
All right. Do you put Easter eggs in your music? If you do, can you name one piece that has an Easter egg in it?
God. Yeah, so I don't know Easter eggs, but well, no, that's not true. I have a zillion Easter eggs. That's kind of all I do is just load things with things.
I love it.
But for instance, a band piece called Ghost Train, the opening flute solo is my ex-girlfriend's phone number.
We need more context here.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, so we had this long distance relationship. She was living in Texas. I was in Las Vegas at the time. And so I just missed her. And so I was calling her every day. And so you can see it starts on a 1-817, right? So that's where Baylor is. That's the area code for that.
Keep going with the number.
Well, so that's the funny thing.
No,
So like all the way through the number, and then when he gets to the last number, there's this huge cluster chord. My idea was, in case anybody figures this out, they won't be able to contact her. But it was only years later that I realized, well, there's only 10 possibilities for the last number.
Well,
anyway, I do that kind of stuff all the time. Like in my very first piece, Go Lovely Rose, the climax, so to be admired, it spells out, there's a D, an A, a V, I, a minor 6 chord, another D, and a B. It spells out David B. So that's David B. Weiler, the man that it's dedicated to. So I do that. Yeah, do that all the time.
That's amazing. In a
ex-girlfriend's phone number.
In a piece that I commissioned, you probably know what it is. We put in binary code in there.
Oh, yeah.
In a apocalyptic piece, a binary code that has a message. I don't think I'm allowed to say the name of the piece because I think it's supposed to be something that people figure out.
I mean, it's pretty obvious what that piece.
That's cool.
If you know any of the pieces that you've done. So.
It's a piece. Well, it's a piece about the dangers of AI that we did actually 2 years ago.
That's clever. That's really clever
right now.
Yeah,
AI will figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so rumor has it you love tango dancing. Is this true?
Love hate. And my wife is incredibly good at it, and I want to learn to be as good. But if you know anything about tango, the man leads it, and if the man doesn't know what he's doing, that's a long night. And so so I love to hate it.
Has tango shaped you as a composer at all? And has tango have you tried to add in some tango spice into any of your compositions?
I'll tell you where tango has changed me is as a conductor. Profoundly.
Yeah?
My wife always jokes because I'm like, there's a TED Talk here. Because the thing about tango is you're leading someone around the floor. And so you have to be unbelievably clear and efficient. And this is the stuff we're always dealing with every day when we conduct. But it's made me totally rethink, like, how much do these players actually need from me to do their job? Yeah. What is the bare minimum, clearest possible gesture that I can do? And so much of it is just confidence. So much of it is just the simplest possible thing with confidence. And then they move. And it really changed the way I thought about it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Interesting. Who is... Oh... Please answer this. Who is the most famous contact you have on your phone?
Ooh. I don't know. Famous.
Someone that I don't know most of the American population would go, oh yeah, I know that person.
Probably Hans Zimmer. That's probably the most famous guy. If I think about it, I think I also have Pharrell Williams' phone number, but I never call him, but Hans occasionally.
Oh, that makes me happy.
We worked together some years ago.
Makes me happy, huh? Will Hans Zimmer's phone number ever be put in as an Easter egg into any of your pieces?
Maybe not.
That's so
funny.
Which
now you worked with him, a collaboration,
right.
And what was that for again?
We did Pirates of the Caribbean 4 together. We wrote the mermaid theme, and then I also worked on. I did the choral writing for Kung Fu Panda 3 and Batman versus Superman. I did a little bit of work on that. So I only work on sequels with Hans.
All right.
Hans is like, I'll take care of the first one and then I'll add Eric later.
Kung Fu Panda did right because of the fallout from Seal Lullaby. Nice.
Yeah, that's right.
5 to 10 seconds. What's your morning hair routine?
Well, my first thing that I do every morning is I take minoxidil, so that my hair will stop falling out. So
bravo.
That's my big secret these days is please God, just stay in.
There you go.
It's not much more complicated than that.
Okay. What's the best advice you'd give to an aspiring composer?
Have a single idea, think small, think efficient, and do everything you can to finish the piece, no matter what. So, that's my 10-second version. Mm-hmm. But then the real advice after that would just be like, I realized I hacked my brain because I would never finish anything if somebody weren't waiting for it. So to hack my brain, I get somebody to agree to perform the piece, either through commission or otherwise, and then they start selling tickets, and then you're screwed. You have to finish it. You have to write the thing. And there's something about that process that just... oh my God, you learn so much. It's like, okay, I've got to give them something. So, all right, let's do this.
Beautiful. If you had to pick a different career, what would it be?
Architect.
Yeah,
nice. I would love to be I'm fascinated by architecture.
It's almost like he's an architect of music.
Wow.
Very nice. I think there's so many parallels, to be honest.
Yeah.
Between architecture and music.
Beautiful.
Hidden talent not many people know about you. Any tongue tricks, any like weird, I mean, that's a weird statement in and of itself.
Like
it could be anything, literally anything.
Wait, let me think. If I just
Clap
think
with
for a
one
minute,
hand.
I know I've got 5 seconds left. I think I can open just about any bottle of beer under any possible circumstances. It
That's
doesn't matter what it is, what tools I have, how cold it is, how hot it is, where I am. I'm gonna get that bottle of beer open.
I have experience.
That's a talent, right?
Yeah, I mean,
plus plus
I
on
think
that
it's
answer.
great.
Right.
That was great.
That's a Marvel superpower.
Yeah. Okay, just a few more. Favorite place you've ever conducted? That's a hard one because you've conducted a few places.
Okay, the short version is a TGI Fridays in the middle of Florida.
What?
God's honest. But there's a story that goes with
Yeah,
it,
we
which
need
is
to hear
Yeah,
the
I
story.
figured,
longer than 10 seconds. All right, I'll try to condense this as much as I can. But I was in school, I was doing my master's degree, and I'd flown down to University of Miami to do water night. And then we rehearsed it there, and then we drove all the way through Florida to go up to Tallahassee for the Florida convention. So halfway there, we stop at a TGI Fridays. All 75 of us. We take over half the restaurant, and we all sing "Happy Birthday" to the conductor. And then the manager comes up and says, "I had no idea you were a choir when you booked this. You sound fantastic. Will you please sing something else for us?" So I'm there, and all the singers are like, "Water Night, Water Night," which is, if you know Water Night, right? It's slow and static and esoteric and 5 minutes long. If you were going to sing in a TGI Fridays, it's the worst possible piece to sing, right? So as a joke, I stand up on the table and I think I'm holding a knife. I'm like, "Okay, everybody got it?" And somebody sends around a B flat, and I start. And the first two bars, I'm just goofing, right? And then I swear to God, everybody in that restaurant just slowly stopped. They started putting down their silverware, and the busboys all stopped. And for 4.5 minutes, we were just frozen in the middle of Central Florida. It was one of the most emotional performances I've ever had. People had tears in their eyes. The singers, it was like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" And I always think that's why we do what we do, is that thing that I got to experience. So I think that's the best venue I've ever performed in.
Wow.
Nice.
What is your favorite Eric Whitacre choral piece?
Oh my God. In 10 seconds?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you want to follow up, that's fine.
A boy and a girl. And the only reason I say it is in our world, I think what we're always trying to do is find a perfect poem and then illuminate it with music. And I think for whatever reason, I just got out of the way and did what the poem was saying to do. And so in my mind, of my aesthetic, which is to marry the music and words as closely as possible, that's probably the closest I've come, is that piece.
Nice. And then your least favorite Eric Whitacre choral piece.
Oh God!
We ask all of our,
we ask everyone.
We ask everyone. All composers these two questions.
That was a fun question for Tony, right?
Tony also had that question.
Did he have an answer?
Yeah, it was this piece that kind of got revamped though. Like it was one piece and it didn't sell well. Then he kind of revamped. Wasn't that?
I think that was Kyle Peterson.
Oh, it was Kyle Peterson.
Yeah.
What was Tony's?
I forget what Tony's was. Sorry, Tony.
We'll go back to that episode.
But Susan LaBar, her least favorite was Grace Before Sleep,
which is wild.
Really?
Which is like,
her most
one of her biggest pieces.
Yeah.
It's because she wrote it when she was young, and it was before she studied with Alice Parker, and then she learned so much more, and so she's like, I would have written that completely differently. So
I'll tell you,
this piece that you're about to say, it will still sell. It will still sell. Don't think that you're selling yourself short.
It's more like I have such a dysfunctional level of empathy. I would never want to say something bad about one of the pieces because I would be afraid that I would hurt its feelings. and I also feel like I'm being a bully. Like if I don't like it, then already it's like, why am I picking on that piece? And all the other pieces are going to look at it and laugh. And so like I actually, it's like crazy.
You should manifest all your pieces as like dolls.
They're like
around
your children. Yeah.
Yeah, they are like little children. Yeah, I really feel like they're. Yeah, so none of them do I dislike.
That's good. We'll accept that answer from you. We wouldn't accept it from other composers, but we'll accept it from you. Okay, last question, Danny.
Will Eric Whitacre singers make another album?
Yes. So this piece that I was telling you about, so it's called Eternity in an Hour, and it's for the Eric Whitacre singers, piano, cello, and then all of these synthesizers. It's an hour-long piece, so it's a full album. I'm so damn excited about this. And we've already made it. It's finished. It's completely ready. And I think it gets released in October.
Oh, great.
So
Nice.
I should warn people, like if they're kind of looking for that pure choral sound, this might be something different. Like I really bent the genre in a way, and especially my version of the genre. So but I'm super excited about it. I'm really, I just can't wait to share it with people.
Wow. Nice. That's
Can't
exciting.
Wait. That's a great timing on my question.
Yeah.
That's awesome. October.
Yeah.
October. Be on the lookout.
Yeah. Well, you survived rapid fire. And I'm glad that it wasn't super rapid because we wanted a little bit more. So some of those were submitted by some of our listeners, and then some of them we just came up with. And so thanks for answering all those. And also just thank you so much for being on our podcast today. It has been, you've been on our bucket list. We've been wanting to talk to you.
We've been giddily talking about it for a while. You should see all of our texts like back and forth on the matter. Like when we first found out this was a possibility, he just like screenshots me the text and like the email that was sent out and with like exclamation points. And I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So we're really excited.
So thank you guys. I mean, it's beautiful to talk to the two of you, and thank you for all you're doing. It's an important podcast.
Pleasure.
Well, we appreciate it.
Spread the word.
Sorry, I'm going off script. Who was the celebrity recently that came out and said they listened to Eric Whitacre? Who was this? Happened recently in the past year?
Oh, it was Rachel Ziegler, and she said it should be Choir Girl Summer. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I did see that.
This is the other thing I love is I think there's lots and lots of celebrities who are secret choir geeks. Do you know what I mean? They sang in choir. It's how they got into acting, got into theater. And so it's so fun to see somebody pop up like, yes, of course. Yes. A fellow choir geek.
Yeah. Rachel has one of the most incredible voices.
Oh,
she was
God.
Just on that Bowen Yang award show, the Las Culturistas or whatever it is, the most ridiculous award show that means nothing, but all these like celebrities are there. And she performed, and my jaw just was on the floor the entire time. She was insane.
She's the real deal. Yeah. She's so good.
Yeah. Before we end, is there anything else you'd like to say to our listeners, or or any last nuggets of wisdom to choir directors or whoever is listening to our podcast? Another big question. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how to frame this. So it's a crazy time. All right. I think we can all agree there's just some darkness going on, and it's such noise and dissonance. And it's even sort of difficult these days to even figure out what is actually going on. Do you know what I mean? It's like I've personally never experienced this in my life. It's just this insane haze that's going on. And for anybody who's involved in the choral arts, this is just a reminder that what we're doing is beyond essential. Like we're bringing together people into a room, people of all sorts of different ideas and ideologies and backgrounds, and everybody takes that breath together, and we're instantly unified. We're a team now. We're a community in that first breath. I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and that work that happens, that softening that happens to the spirit, and that reminder that we're people, that we're in this together. It's always important, but somehow I feel now it's more important than ever. And so I always think that we're doing the really important work. It's not to get too self-serious, but it's just a reminder, because I especially know people who are doing this on a daily basis, educators who are in there just grinding away. And not only are they just fighting the difficulty of the job, but also fighting this tide of momentum about getting rid of all of this stuff, from school districts. Like, just keep fighting the good fight. What you're doing is important, and the world is a better place for it.
Right back at you. What you do is very important, giving us the curriculum, and the deepest curriculum that we could ever ask for.
It's the vehicle to make those connections. Yeah. So thank you, for sure.
It's a team effort, but thank you guys.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, that wraps up Season 3 of the Choir Guys podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube to the Choir Guys channel so you can know when new episodes are coming out. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
We cannot be more thankful for our incredible sponsors. Please make sure to visit their websites and check them out in the description box below. If you're interested in partnering with the Choir Guys, please email us at thechoirguyspod@gmail.com.
You can follow the show on all social media at the Choir Guys Pod to catch bonus content throughout the week. Feel free to message us through these platforms if you want to hear us talk about something specific on the show.
A huge shout out to Eric Whitacre for joining us on the podcast today. Incredibly grateful for your time, your visionary creativity, and the lasting impact you've had on the choral world. It is truly an honor to have you with us, and we can't wait to share this conversation with everyone.
Absolutely. Thanks again for being here. If people want to follow you and add to your hundreds of thousands of followers on social media, how can they follow you?
I'm on social media, and the one thing I will say about social media that anybody who's interested in knowing this, it's only me. I don't have a team. Any comment you see, any like you see.
There was a time frame that I wondered if it was him or it was a team, because it was so active on every cheeky comment someone would make.
That's
you
me.
Made it. Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's absolutely me. I would never let anybody pretend to be me and comment. So it's always me. Yeah, and if they're cheeky, that's even better.
I noticed that.
Nice. Well, we will see everybody in a few weeks to start Season 4, our back-to-school episode, and we cannot wait. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Beautiful. With over 800,000 sheet music titles and growing, Gateway Sheet Music should be your first stop when you're searching for the perfect piece. Scott and Jeff have built a musician-friendly site that's fast, reliable, and full of gems. And if you still can't find the piece you're looking for, just call 314-894-7000 and they'll go the extra mile, because
when it comes to music, we know our sheet.
Visit GatewaySheetMusic.com today. Have you ever stayed at a boutique hotel? You know, one of those places where everything is curated to be ultra special? Well, that's exactly the approach they take at Walton Music. Think of Walton as your boutique choral publisher. The Walton catalog features exceptional works from around the world, each carefully chosen for its musical excellence and supported with helpful tools for performers. With Walton Music, you're not just selecting music, you're choosing a curated quality experience with all of the details to help you and your choir succeed. Pavon Publishing is delighted to be a supporter of the Choir Guys. The choral arts and singing are what they are all about. The goal of the company is to provide practical resource materials and creative performance selections for both church and school choirs of all ages. Please visit their website, pavonpublishing.com, to explore their various offerings today.